morning, everybody. It's Miss Cooperhorn again, and we are learning the letter C. So this morning, I am going to make chocolate cake. Miss Cooperhorn makes chocolate cake. All of those things start with C. Okay, so what I did first was, here in my pot, I have sugar, I have butter, I have water, and I have chocolate, and I'm melting it on the stove. So I have to stir this around a little bit to make sure it gets all melty. You don't want it to be too hot because it will burn, but you do need to make it warm enough where the butter will melt and the sugar will melt, and I gotta keep my eye on that. So I turn the stove down pretty low so we can do that. Then, while that's melting, I put some flour in the bowl, 2 cups of flour. I put in some baking soda and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And then I'm gonna put in 1 teaspoon of sea salt. The teaspoon is this small one right here. Put that in there like that. And let's see. Let me make sure that this is getting all nice and melty. The chocolate is melting and the butter is melting, because this is the way that we get it so that it can be together. Almost melted. And you gotta scrape the bottom of the pot when you're doing that, because you don't want anything to stick or burn, because burned butter and burned sugar is not a good idea. Okay, that's melted enough. So I'm gonna just push it back on the stove like that to let it cool down. Okay, so I'm gonna take my whisk and I am going to whisk. These are called dry ingredients. So I'm gonna whisk my dry ingredients around and around like this to make sure that they're all together. Okay, so I'm going to use a bundt pan to bake my cake in, and I put spray in there already so that the cake will come out easily when it's done baking. Okay. Okay, now, I don't know if this is cooled down enough, because I need to because if you add cold ingredients to hot ingredients, sometimes they can turn out kind of yucky. So I'm gonna cool this. When you stir things, it helps it to cool down. I'm gonna touch it. Still pretty hot. So I'm gonna let it sit right there for just a little while. And then what it says is, when the chocolate in the pan is cooled a bit, whisk in the milk mixture and the eggs. So here's my milk. Let's see if I can whisk that in to there. This is a whisk. I think I already told you that. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to pour it into another bowl. If I pour it into another bowl, a smaller bowl, that will cool it down a little bit, and then I can keep going, because the metal pan holds the heat in. So now I put the chocolate mixture into another bowl. So now I can whisk in, I'm gonna whisk in the milk mixture. So here's the milk. I'm gonna put it in, and I'm gonna mix it around a little bit. This will help to get it cooler. There we go. Make sure you get all of it, right? Okay, that looks good. Okay, and then it says to put in the eggs. There's one egg, and I'm gonna whisk that around. One egg. There's 2 eggs. That. Okay. And then I'm going to whisk in the dry ingredients. I'm going to put a little in and whisk it around. Just as you can see, I'm trying to incorporate it. Incorporate means put together. I'll put a little more in. That. It's getting thicker now because we want it to be thicker. This is turning into a batter. Okay, and I'm going to put the rest of the flour and the baking soda and the baking powder and the salt in all together. Bang it so we can get it all in there. Okay, and now I have to keep mixing, blending, whisking until it all gets together. Oh, as you can see, it's getting thicker. You want to whisk it until the whole thing is together. And there's no white flour showing anymore. Oh, there's still some on the sides here. That looks good. Chocolate batter, yum. It's hard for me not to lick it. Then it calls for 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Vanilla is something that is made from orchid seeds, actually. Put that in there, and I will use my spoon now so I can get the edges. There, it looks like it's all one piece. I'm gonna pour it into my pan now that I already have ready. I've gotta be careful not to spill it. It smells very chocolatey. And chocolate starts with a C. It's a CH sound. CH is the ch sound. It's called a blend. Kind of like my cake is a blend. I want to scrape it all in there to make sure I get it all together. There we go. Looks good. Now I'm going to put it in the oven, and when it comes out, I'll show you.